You're fine. So, right now we're getting ready to do our telephone consultation. And I'm going to be calling one of the parents, and we're going to find out how their homework assignment went, as well as their planned activity. So, get on the phone here. Hey, Mr. Bauer, this is Mr. Marcus. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks.
I was calling because it's 3:30 and this was the time that I had scheduled for our telephone consultation with you. Is this still a good time?
Yeah, this is still a good time to speak.
Okay, that's great. Do you remember what I'm calling about?
Yeah, you were calling about the homework and the planned activity that I had prepared for.
Yes, that's right. How did that go?
Well, honestly, it went horrible. The activities that I had, such as like the color books that I brought along, and then also when I was trying to get my daughter Hope to sit still at the table, it was just a disaster. I mean, I did every single thing that I thought that I knew to do. I thought I planned in advance. I mean, I talked about some rules. I gave her some consequences, and she just refused to listen. I mean, it was just a horrible disaster. Actually, it was even worse planning than actually when it was done before I had not even planned. So as soon as we sat down, it was just a mess. She began like jumping on the chairs. I told her to stop. Then she jumped on the table. She was yelling. She threw the color book on the floor. I mean, it was honestly, Marcus, it was just so bad that we had to leave before we even got our food. I mean, I almost was in tears.
Okay, I can tell that you kind of put a little thought into this. Could you tell me two things that you think you did right or you think you did well?
What I did well?
Yes.
I didn't beat her. That's what I wanted to do, but I did. I really wanted to knock her out, but I honestly, I guess I could say is that when we actually got into the restaurant, sometimes she would just run off, and she did. She didn't run off. So maybe kind of. Maybe something that I did well is being able to tell her, hey, when we go in, we're not going to run, and she did that. I just felt it was just a horrible situation, and I just got overwhelmed.
Okay. So what do you think you could do differently next time?
Never take her to eat in a restaurant ever again. I mean, for real, like maybe I just need to say no restaurants until you're 18 years old. You can buy yourself. But I don't think that's probably what you're asking for, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So probably something that I could have done differently is maybe having a different activity that I could have done with her. Maybe this might have helped her to maybe have more input into what she was choosing. But now I think about it, like she don't even like coloring books, so I don't even know why I brought them.
Okay. Well, let's think about the way that you actually planned the activity. How did that go? Like the actual planning stages for the activity.
Okay, all right. Well, I had identified that going into a public restaurant was my high-risk situation. So that's something that I knew would be difficult.
Okay.
So I planned, for lunch, during lunchtime. I told her that she had to listen to me and do as I say at all times. I kind of said, we're not going to Burger King. It's not your way, it's my way. So I said, we're going to go to McDonald's. And so we even got coloring books for her, maybe do something interesting that I thought that she might be interested in. And I told her that if she was going to misbehave, that she would lose, possibly having like something sweet, like an ice cream or something like that. And she's going to have to go to bed early. And so we packed up the car and we went to the restaurant.
Okay, what restaurant did you take her to?
So I went to McDonald's.
Okay, that's a good kid-friendly restaurant. It seems you put a lot of thought into planning this effort and thought into planning this with your daughter. But I noticed you stated that you told her the consequences for misbehaving. Is there anything else that you could have said or done differently?
I really don't know if there's anything else I could have done differently. I followed the instructions step by step. I just don't understand what went wrong.
Okay, so let's think about it. Is there anything else that you could have said maybe about some of the things she was doing good, or if she was to behave, what about those kind of things?
You know, now I think about it, I probably didn't praise her at all for maybe some of the things that she did do well. So I guess sometimes I just don't understand, what I could speak to her about. But yeah, I guess there were things that I could have praised her for.
Okay, I heard you say you don't understand what you would speak to her about. Let's go back to look at a workbook and the example for a planned activity.
Okay. That would be, that's in session 4, right? Robert?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay, all right. So, let's see here.
Let's compare, I want to compare your planning activities to the examples that we have in the book.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess there were several things. So, a couple of things that I noticed that that I didn't do so well, was have a practice session. I guess I probably could have maybe rehearsed or practiced before going, to McDonald's. And you know what? I didn't have more than one interesting activity. Actually, I didn't have an interesting activity for her at all. I just had activities I thought just keep her quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't speak about, I guess rewards, for positive behaviors. And I wonder if I gave her maybe it was clear to me. I told her, like, you just do exactly what I tell you to do. And maybe that wasn't clear to her about those clear instructions. And now I think about it, there wasn't really any conversation about consequences. If she didn't follow the rules. Marcus, I just kind of feel like, I'm just a horrible, horrible parent.
No, you're not a horrible parent. No child comes with a manual of how to raise them, what you should or you shouldn't do. Parenting is always going to be a learning process, both for you and the child. The important thing is you're able to recognize some things that you would do differently next time. Things like having a practice session and the rewards for good behavior seem small to us, but they're a big difference and have a significant effect on the child.
Yeah, you're right.
So, after looking over the example, do you think that you would be able to have another planned activity?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what we did through this example, it kind of showed me there's some things that I really probably could have done differently. Thank you for being patient with me. I guess when a person kind of believes in me, that really kind of goes a long way, so thank you.
Okay, so are there any other questions that you have for me at the moment?
Not at this moment. No, I don't.
Do you have anything specific that you want to work on for the upcoming week?
Yeah, I think I specifically want to ask Hope what activities she wants. I think that's the first thing. So if there's some things that she can do while we're waiting in a restaurant, when the food comes, or maybe practicing with her. I guess rewarding for good behaviors, talking through that. That's going to be important. I guess, and also talking about consequences of what that might look like. If she chooses not to follow, some of those rules.
Okay, well, it seems as though you have identified the issues that you were having with implementing a planned activity. If there's anything you may have any questions about, or anything you may have any problems with, you can always give me a call, and we can try to work this out at a scheduled time. Is there anything else that you have for me at the moment?
No, I appreciate your help, Marcus. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. I'll be speaking to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So, self-reflection, self-evaluation. I think I did pretty good. I tried to make sure that I kept praising them for the things I did right. I know they felt like they were being a bad parent or they were a horrible parent. Having to use the self-regulatory approach and keep getting them to find the answers instead of us giving the answers. I think I kind of maybe have given an answer away or kind of given a clue, a hint too much. But overall, I think I did a good job in actually effectively trying to help them solve their problems and them figure out that, just because we think we do something right, that we may not always do it the way that it's supposed to, and that it's important to follow each step in the planning process for a planned activity, as well as all the other things that we're teaching in the Triple P program. So with that being said, I think I did a good job of, in my relationship with them and making everything right. So